Welcome back to the Round Number One YouTube channel. Now, before I dive in, I gotta circle back on something I missed last time. I overlooked the source where Devon Dudley officially named Jim Ross as the WWE executive who made a racist comment towards him. That confirmation came straight from the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. I meant to bring it up during the last recording, but it slipped past by me. Now, if you've been following this story, you remember Devon originally refused to name names when he first spoke out. A lot of us, including me, never expected JR to be the one, but now it's confirmed and that changes the conversation. Also, shout out to Maven. He basically dropped the cheese on the floor during that Dudley Boys interview on Devon's YouTube channel. He didn't say it outright, but he made it clear enough for anyone paying attention. And before we move on, big thanks to everyone who commented on last week's upload. It was great talking to you guys, and round number one will get better with your voices in the mix. All right, so let's get into the rest of the show. And I just want to talk a little baseball for a second. So this MLB postseason, certified chaos, and I loved every second of it. Game 6 and Game 7 had Blue Jays fans throwing their remotes, controversial calls, emotional swings, and enough tension to make a steel chair sweat. But let's talk facts. This was the most exciting October baseball we had in years, period. Now, as a Canadian, I've been watching the Jays go from last place in the AL East to World Series contenders. That's not just a comeback. That's like a full-blown redemption arc. They poured their hearts out, flipped the standings, and earned every ounce of that banner that's about to rise at the Rogers Center. And I'll be honest, the regular season grind with 162 games, that's a chore to keep up. But when the Jays are cooking like this, I'm going to make time next year to watch as much games as I can during the regular season. If they can claw back their way to the top of the AL East in 2026, we're talking about another shot at the candy. Not just sniffing it, but biting it. It will be sweet for the team, sweet for the city, and sweet for the whole damn country. Okay, so that'll be my last talk about baseball. Let's stick to wrestling now. So on Saturday, I had my laptop fired up for Saturday night's main event, but I wasn't just watching wrestling. Of course, I was watching baseball as well. And, I was multitasking like a man on a mission. Now, on the last recording, I broke down the odds, and the smart money was on Cody, Jade, Dominik, and CM Punk. And guess what? Their odds didn't just hold, they skyrocketed. Dominik went from minus 800 to like minus 1200 on Bet UK the day before the show. If I were living in the UK, I would be cashing out right now because every sharp fan knew those four were walking out with wins. Now, let's talk specifically about Jade. Putting the title on her, I think that was excellent. In a scripted sport like WWE, having a babyface hold a belt for like 100+ days with no real threat, that's not storytelling, that's autopilot. Stratton ran through the SmackDown and the available WWE Legends roster like it was a warm-up drill. So, in my opinion, it was a time for a reset. And here's the real issue. When WWE stalls a title change because they're unsure about a reign, they don't just lose viewers, they stall the entire roster's momentum. Jade not winning last Saturday would have been a creative disaster. WWE knew Stratton's reign was already solidified. Holding off on Jade would have iced her momentum and ticked off a lot of people backstage, in my opinion. CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight Championship, that's just momentum math, He's got more juice than Jey Uso right now, and WWE made the right call. As for Cody and Dominik, I'm not going to waste too much breath. They each shouldn't be losing their championship yet. Now, let's move on to the photograph taken backstage, posted on CM Punk's Instagram page. So this photo, in my opinion, was basically like a flex for the whole company. You had Cody, Jade, Punk, and Ricky Starks standing tall together with gold around, holding gold. I called it Team WWE. That's your dream team right there. Now, missing from that photo, Stephanie Vaquer, who is the women's world champion, and Triple H doing the classic finger point like he's blessing the roster. Having a picture like that would have been chef's kiss. And here's the kicker. All four of those champs were all elite just like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, probably 3 years ago. So let that sink in. Who would have thought they'll be standing together in WWE holding world championships? Life moves fast, wrestling moves faster. Now, WWE is going to be holding a 16-man tournament to decide who gets the final dance with John Cena. Kicks off on November 10th on Raw in Boston and ends on December 13th at Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C., which will be Cena's retirement match. This tournament is pulling talent from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and even outside the WWE bubble. But let's be real. Don't expect AEW to play ball. You're most likely to see names from TNA, AAA, or free agents floating between contracts. As for a surprise, who knows? We might even see Andrade make a surprise return to the WWE. It's possible. Another person who could be possible is Alberto Del Rio. Chris Jericho, I don't know. That could be a stretch. WWE might not want him to be bumping in this era, but the door is cracked open for wildcards. Now, here's my theory on Cena's schedule. So, now, if Cena is booked until December 13th, I don't expect him to lace up the boots every week until then. I expect WWE to protect him. You're gonna see for his next 4 appearances, you're gonna get promos, you're gonna get stare downs, probably a tag team match, but like no like real like one-on-one bouts before the big night. So here's my theory. We will see probably 2 tournament losers still get matches with John Cena. So it's smart booking. It will give these 2 losers a shot to prove themselves against John Cena. It keeps Cena's farewell arc moving, and it adds heat without derailing the tournament. So if this happens, these matches, in my opinion, like a lot of people see it as a filler match. Cena only has like really 4 more dates left. So like if he wrestles like before his final day on December 13th, these are farewell tour matches. So in these matches, Cena is giving the rub to rising stars who came up short. This is part of legacy building. So here's the play. Cena stays visible, stays protected, maybe drops a couple of short matches before December 13th, and he calls it a book after that. So with that being said, this is Michael. I'm going to end this upload of round number 1 here today. See you soon during the week.